Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to everyone gathered in the webinar. I request everyone to please mute your microphone as well as your video. Dhishana 2021 is a multidisciplinary international webinar organized by KR Narayana College, Valancheri, in association with Kerala State Higher Education Council from 8th November to 29th November 2021. The webinar is going to be an excellent platform for discussing recent trends in the fields of language, science, and social science. 16 renowned plenary speakers from various national and international institutes have consulted to deliver their lectures. Beneficiary of this program will be undergraduate, postgraduate, research, scholars, faculty members from various colleges and institutes. The international webinar is expected to provide a circular enrichment for students and professional development for faculty members, expecting your wholehearted participation throughout the program. Today's program is organized by Department of Computer Science. Before starting the program, let's take the blessings from the Almighty. Prayer.
ദൈവമേ കാത്തുകൊള്ളുകങ്ങ് കൈവിടാതിങ്ങു ഞങ്ങളെ നാവികൻ നീ ഭവാദിക്ക് ഒരാവിവൻ തോണി നിൻ പദം ഒന്നൊന്നായി എണ്ണി എണ്ണി തൊട്ടെണ്ണും പൊരുളൊടുങ്ങിയാൽ നിന്നിടും ദൃക്ക് പോലുള്ളം നിന്നിലസ്പന്ദമാകണം അന്നവസ്ത്രാദി മുട്ടാതെ തന്നു രക്ഷിച്ചു ഞങ്ങളെ ധന്യരാക്കുന്ന നീയൊന്നു തന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾക്കു തമ്പുരാൻ ആഴിയും തിരയും കാറ്റും ആഴവും പോലെ ഞങ്ങളും മായയും നിൻമഹിമയും നീയുമെന്നുള്ളിലാകണം നീയല്ലോ സൃഷ്ടിയും സ്രഷ്ടാവായതും സൃഷ്ടിജാലവും നീയല്ലോ ദൈവമേ സൃഷ്ടിക്കുള്ള സാമഗ്രിയായതും നീയല്ലോ മായയും മായാവിയും മായാവിനോദനും നീയല്ലോ മായയെ നീക്കി സായുജ്യം നൽകുമാര്യനും നീ സത്യം ജ്ഞാനമാനന്ദം നീ തന്നെ വർത്തമാനവും ഭൂതവും ഭാവിയും പേരല്ലോതുമൊഴിയുമോർക്കിൽ നീ അകവും പുറവും തിങ്ങും മഹിമാവാർന്ന നിൻ പദം പുകഴ്ത്തുന്നു ഞങ്ങളങ്ങ് ഭഗവാനെ ജയിക്കുക ജയിക്കുക മഹാദേവ ദീനാവനപരായണ ജയിക്കുക ചിദാനന്ദ ദയാസിന്ധോ ജയിക്കുക ആഴമേറും നിൻ മഹസ്സാം ആഴിയിൽ ഞങ്ങളാകവേ ആഴണം വാഴണം നിത്യം വാഴണം വാഴണം സുഖം.
Now, I request Mrs. Rahmat, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, to address the gathering with a welcome speech.
Good afternoon. It is immense pleasure to welcome you all to Dhishana 2021, a multidisciplinary international webinar series in association with Kerala State Higher Education Council. First of all, I proudly welcome our resource person, Mr. IQAC, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Sri Krishna Aditya College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. A warm welcome to you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome our Honorable Principal, Dr. Anil V. I welcome you, sir. Next, I welcome our Head Department of Computer Science, Mr. Srini. Welcome, sir. Next, I welcome Convener of Dhishana 2021, Dr. Jidin M. Welcome, sir. Next, I welcome IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Fabida Ibrahim. Welcome you, ma'am. The most important one of this session is the participants. On behalf of KR Srinarana College, I welcome all the participants to the program. I request to all the participants to be very attentive and to make use of this session. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Mr. Srini P, HOD of Department Computer Science, to address the gathering with presidential address.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. I. Gobi sir, respected Principal Dr. Anil sir, esteemed colleagues and dear participants, good afternoon. First of all, I really appreciate all the participants for being part of Dhishana, a multidisciplinary international webinar series in association with Kerala State Higher Education Council. As you all know, today's session is on Artificial Intelligence by Mr. I. Gobi sir, Assistant Professor of Information Technology, Sri Krishna Aditya College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Since we are living in a technological era, computer science play a vital role in our life. So, objective of today's session is to provide a base idea regarding artificial intelligence. It is our privilege to have a guest like Mr. I. Gobi sir for the session. Thank you, sir. Please make use of today's opportunity. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
So, good afternoon, all.
Welcome, sir.
So, it is my immense pleasure to be a part of your Dhishana, and I really thank your principal Anil sir and Srini, right? So, for inviting me as a guest for making you all benefit with the introduction or base of artificial intelligence. Okay. So since the artificial intelligence is so it is improving lot and lot from the base. So when it is started, it is started with a small thing, right? So after that, so it has been developed now with a tremendous change. Okay, so now it has been used in all the applications. So without artificial intelligence, you cannot live in this world. So that is the status of AI, So whenever you are going to do something, right? So, 1 minute. So whenever you are starting with a small application, so if you are taking a small application, so all the application we have some artificial intelligence. So what is mean by that? So we can start with a slide presentation. So it is a base thing, right? So I'm going to speak on the base of artificial intelligence and how it can be implemented, right? So you are saying artificial intelligence, so it is very vague. You will be thinking so, but so that can be implemented with various applications. Now, certain application or certain programming language has been developed, so only for the purpose of implementing artificial intelligence. So I'll say what are the language that can be used for implementing artificial intelligence too. Okay, so before starting, we want to know what is mean by what artificial intelligence. So simply you are sitting in the class and thinking of so fan, right? So seeing a fan and thinking that, so I should operate the fan with my eyesight, right? So if I'm blinking my eyes, so it should operate. When I'm seeing and blinking my eyes, it should stop. So if you are thinking like that, so that can be imported in your computer language, and you can make that computer to implement that type of application with a fan. So for that you need embedded system small applications in the fan as well as the programming in your fan, so that it could detect your eyesight and it will make the fan to operate. So here I could say that, so whatever the thinking that is arise in our mind, so we may import that in the computer and we can make the computer to do that. So that is the artificial intelligence. So basic thing, so artificial intelligence is nothing but whatever the thinking that arise in our mind, so that we can import in a computer to do. So as like as human who is doing. So you could see that certain robots are operating in your room. So by without dashing on the wall, so it will be moving near the wall and it will be turning back, right? So that is what the artificial intelligence nowadays it is used. Okay. So it is a branch, right? So what is the basic thing? So artificial, you all know what is mean by that. So it is not a natural one. So artificial is not a natural one. So natural natural things are like plants or animals and human beings. So we are natural. But if you say artificial, so it is not natural at all. So that we can take it as a term. And after that, intelligence. So intelligence is capacity to think and learn. So when we compare with the animals, human being with animals, so when we are asking the animals to move, they will be moving on, right? So they don't think, so they have a capacity to think, right? So we have a capacity to think, right? So that is said to be the capacity to think, learn, and solve the problem. That is said to be intelligence. So both the thing, if we combine together, so we could form the artificial intelligence. So it will be like a simulation of human intelligence. So that is said to be the artificial intelligence. So what it will be doing means it can or it will be having a ability to solve some problems, as well as it will be acting rationally. So rationally it means that, so according to the decision system that is in the brain, so it will be moving on, and same as that it will be acting like a humans. I will say an example. So what is the machine, right? So who is acting like a human being? I will say an example in so coming slides, right? And how it has been generated. So in 1950, there was a mathematician known as Alan Turing. So he started to think and to make a computer machinery to be an intelligent one. So that was the thinking that arises in our mind. So he think that, so, and he always thinking about, so can a machine think? So can a machine think? So this was the thinking that arises in his mind. And after that, so what he done is he proposed a test known as Turing test. So what is the test is he places a machine in one room, and after that he places a human, right? Human in another room, and after that, so in another room he places a another one machine, right? So the communication will be only through wireless, right? So sorry, with the message, right? It is not like coming and informing to the human or machine. So it will be only through message, both the human as well as the machine. So here what happened? So he was sending the message. First he was sending to square to human as well as the machine. So the machine could replay it fast, because it is a simple number. Now after that, like that, it has been started from 1 square, 2 square, and what he was doing is 1 2 3 up to 9, right 9 power 1 2 3 1 to 9. So this was the number that was given at last to the machine as well as the human. The human was waiting, right, and he's calculating, but machine suddenly it replied with error message, right? So it was replying with error message. But so at last, man, so he take a time, but he replied the answer. What is the answer? He replied, right? So from this experiment or from this test, he could understand that machine cannot think like man can think. So whatever the thinking that arises in our mind can be imported into the machine, and the machine can do the work. So that was the first test he has proposed. So the test was named as Alan Turing test. So after that, further work, it came out in 1956, right? So the term known as artificial intelligence, right? The term was came out in the year of 1956 at Dartmouth, right? So sponsored by McCarthy, right? That was the year the term artificial intelligence has been launched, right, or come out, right? Test, right, Turing test. So this was the man known as Alan Turing, and John McCarthy. So in 1956, the term artificial intelligence was first introduced. So how AI works? So we want to see how AI works. So whenever you are saying that we want AI with more number of data or large amount of data. Okay, so you all know what is meant by data. So data is so it is a raw thing, right? So raw information. So it is not information. If we say that it is a meaningful data, so the things that are happening, that is said to be the data. That is a raw, right? Raw thing, right? So that data can be incorporated, and you can use certain algorithms. So there are various algorithms in artificial intelligence. So if you go one by one algorithm, so we could not see all the algorithms. Okay. So using that algorithm, we will be converting the data into a meaningful information, and that will be important in the machines, and like that, this artificial intelligence will be working on that. So here, so there are various subfields in artificial intelligence. So like machine learning, neural networks, deep learning is there, computer vision, natural language processing, and voice detections. Okay, so everything are said to be the subfield of artificial intelligence. So all these things will be coming under artificial intelligence. So this will be coming under artificial intelligence. Okay. Different type of AIs, right? So according to the working, right? So it has been divided. So like artificial narrow intelligence. So that means, so will be programming into the machines, and the machine will do only that work. So that is a narrow. So for example, in a horse, we will be having a small cover in their eyes. So to not divert in the right side or left side. So it will be going on the straight, right, narrow. So that type of intelligence can be important in your machines. Okay, that is said to be artificial narrow intelligence. Artificial general intelligence. So where the machines will be having a capability to span a full spectrum of human activities. Human brain, how it is operating, same as that. So the machine will be equally, in the terms of understanding, it will be important in the machines, right? So that is said to be artificial general intelligence. Then artificial super intelligence. We could see that supercomputer, very large computer, very fast computer, that is said to be a supercomputer. Same as that, if you come for artificial super intelligence, It has a intellect, right? It will be having a very much intelligence like human brain. So so there is a different form of human brains. So certain people will be thinking less, certain people will be thinking more. So in that we will be taking a best human brain. So that type of intellectual capability will be having for artificial super intelligence. So these are the type according to the work of the artificial intelligence. So what is the current status of AI? So we could see analyze the images. So when you go to a Google Map, so there is a two way of using Google Map. One is through direction, another is to find the location with exact picture, right? So that is the two way of using Google Map. So that is a form of artificial intelligence. So where it can be analyze images by its location. So if you go to Chennai, so Chennai there is a two type of places. One is the places where the poor peoples live and where the rich peoples live, right? So it will be looking with big buildings and different things, so that we can analyze that. So this place are above the poverty line. So and they can analyze the people, those who are living in the poor place with uh, so small broken shelters, right? So where it can analyze that there are the people living in the below poverty line and in the poverty line. So like that it can analyze. After that, plane, right? So the gate allocation for a plane. So if the multiple planes are coming to the airport, so you should allocate which landmark or which place where it should come, right? So like that gate allocation for the plane. So if there is no path is free, then it will be intimating to the plane that there is no spaces available, so that you can round in the sky for 4 or 5 minutes or 10 minutes and come back, so that another plane can will be moving from the airport. So like that the intimation will be given to the flight. So that type of gate allocations and ticket price determinations. Certain theater you can book the ticket from your home. So that type of ticket price determinations, not only the theaters, flights, and trains, buses. So these are the things that can be booked by sitting at the home, right? And companies create some robot and imported some programs in their robot. This robots will teach a subject to the company's people, or it will be teaching the subject to the school students. That also happening in the foreign countries. Okay, and I could see in Kerala and somewhere in government school, so there's a virtual reality classes has been conducted. So that is one of the example for making a artificial intelligence important in the virtual reality. So that also could be possible. So that is a current status. Okay. After that, in healthcare. Okay. So in healthcare, so there are variety of problems. The patients having a problems of patients with health. We could see in certain films, right? So in Tamil films like Enthiran, where you could see that, so the robot is operating and seeing the person, right? So in hospital, so that also could be possible. Okay, and using avatars in the place of patients. So intellectual avatar is nothing but it is an intellectual robots. So for taking care of the patients, and also nowadays it is important in the um, medical industries, right? After that, so in common industries like assembling the cars, so this has been robots has been implemented, and it will be doing only the repeated tasks. So it will be starting from the bodybuilding to the fixing the tires. So certain robots will be having the programming on doing certain tasks. So only that will be performed in heavy industries and finance. So by algorithm, certain algorithm, they will be analyzing the market, and they will be saying that. So there is a rise of BSc sensors, right? So that could be also possible. So uh, this is also a current status of AI. So not only that, so you have mobile phones, so like Siri and Cortana. So they are a virtual assistant. So they are the so Cortana and Siri are said to be a virtual assistants that will be helpful the people, and video games, voice recognition, GPS, robotics. So there are this has been made into a new shapes in the current years. And when we see about the Google, so it play a role in transcendence and deep learning. Okay, so that also possible only with the help of the algorithms. Okay, so in the future, what are the future of AI means? So there is a self-driving cars could be possible. So there has been tested in foreign countries, and so in a few years it will be implemented in certain towns. Okay, certain towns it could be implemented. Okay, and medical care and treatment, we could hear that some medical treatment has been performed by some robotic, so in certain hospitals in foreign countries, so that will be improved a lot. So if you are going for a certain operations, so in that operations, it could performed by the robots, and open up door for future explorations could be also possible in the future. And challenges, if you see that, so we cannot trust sometimes the robot, right? So if there is any mistake in the program, there will be a problem in that. And so that should be built up here, right? So that is one of the challenge of AI. And AI human interface. So if you see that human interface, so making a interaction with the human or do certain works, that is also one of the challenge. And investment, so more investments should be there for creating robots and different other artificial intelligence devices. And software malfunctions. Sometimes if there is no proper security in the robot, so then what will be happening means, so there will be corruption of programs, or they can replace certain good programs into a bad programs, and it will be going ahead with the challenges, right? And there is a high expectations in artificial intelligence. So these are some of the challenges of AI. So benefits, if you could see that there is a mundane task. So what is meant by mundane task means casual tasks are formal. So basic tasks are said to be the mundane task, right? So that task can be performed with the artificial intelligence. Casually morning when we are walking, so we are doing certain task, right? So that task can be performed with the uh, robot, right, or artificial intelligence machines. Faster decision could be performed, and our errors sometimes it could avoid. So calculation errors, and it can taking risk on behalf of humans. If a human is doing one work means a robot can do multiple work at the same time. So that also one of the benefit of artificial intelligence. So global risk of AI. So what will be the risk? So if you are going ahead with the risk, sometimes if the robot is increased, what will be happening means, so there will be no job for human. So they, if the replacement of humans is done, then we will not get a salary, and we could not run our family in this world, right? So that also one of the risk. And AI is programmed for devastating task. Okay, devastating task. So 1 minute. So, and it may develop a destructive way to achieving the goals, right? So they are sometimes surpassing the human brain. So these are some of the global risks of AI. And you may ask the question, right? Where we can study a best, or where is the place to have an education in artificial intelligence? Means. So if you take foreign universities, there is a university from USA, right? MIT University, Manchester Institute of Technology from USA, as well as Carnegie Mellon University, CMU University from USA, as well as Stanford University from USA, where so the artificial intelligence can be studied, right? So these are the top 3 universities in the world to study AI. And where you can study in India, so the IIT Hyderabad, right? So you can study BTech in AI. So it is one of the leading university to have a artificial intelligence, right? And IIT Mumbai, so there also you can study BTech in AI. And IIT Madras, so there also you can study BTech in AI. Okay, so these are the top 3 universities in India to study AI. Some of the examples, right? Virtual assistant like Cortana and Sri and voice speaker, right? So that also are the examples for AI. So greatest achievement. So if we speak about the greatest achievement in AI robotics, right? First robotics citizen was Sophia, right? So it is a social humanoid robot developed by Hong Kong-based company Hanson Robotics, right? That was the company that has developed this robot. So this will think and reply to the question that is asked by the person. Okay. So these are the things, basic things we have seen here. So apart from the basic things, right? So how to design AI system means we have a certain steps. First, we have to identify the problem. So what are the problems? As I said before, you are sitting and thinking about that fan that could be operated only with the eyesight, right? So that also, that is the identifying the problem. After that, so you have to prepare the data, choosing the algorithm, train the algorithms, and choosing the particular programming language to implement all this algorithm. After that, running that program in a selected platform. So these are the steps to design an AI system. So we have to identify, prepare, choosing the algorithm, train the algorithm. After that, choosing a particular programming language, and then you can run on selected platforms. So how to identify the problem means, so you have to sit and think, and from that we want to bring out a starting stage, right? What we can do, or what problem can we find it with solutions. So that we have to start as a first step. For that, so for example, if you want to operate the fan with the eyesight, right? Then you want to sit and other things can be done. So, what are the problems that can be identified? So, that is the first step. After that, when we are thinking, so we want to get the data for that. So that data will be not a meaningful data. So these are the data which you are getting as a raw fact. So raw facts are said to be the data. So that data can be taken, and from that, what you can do means you can choose a meaningful data. So meaningful data is said to be information. So that is like adding and deleting some data and updating some data, which we give a manipulation of data with clean and pure data, right? So that we want to do as a second step while you are preparing the data. So then you have to train the model, right? According to the model, we want to choose the data. Third, there is a train model. After that, so when we are training the model, we could see that this data can be used. So that data can be tested. Okay. After that, so testing, we will be finding the fast time complexity, right? So that time complexity can be reduced, and faster response can be improved, right? With this, so these all the things will be uh, come under the second step, preparing the data and choosing the algorithm. So there are different algorithm is there. So in that, so which algorithm you are going to use? Okay, so heuristic search algorithm and different other algorithm, right? So you have random forest algorithm, k-means algorithm, clustering algorithm. So there are different forms of algorithm available. So that algorithm, which algorithm can be used for implementing that data which has been received. So that we want to use as a third step. Then training the algorithm, right? So if you have 5 algorithm, so which can be used for our data means. So in that 5 algorithm, which algorithm is best for best result, or which algorithm will be used to get a best result, that we want to train. So that is the training the algorithm. 5 algorithm is there. For example, if you are having a heuristic search, so in heuristic search, we have a algorithm like best first search, right? And hill climbing algorithm is there. So in which algorithm, after that AO star algorithm. So these are some of the algorithms that can be used in heuristic search, right? So in that algorithm, which algorithm suits for you can be trained in that algorithm. Okay. So after that, so the algorithm should be implemented in programs. What are the language used for implementing AI? So we could see that what is the best programming languages for AI means C++ and Java, and so next to that the Python. So Python, then R programming, then Python and R. So in that, so Python and R are the most popular coding language. So they offers a strong set of tools. So they use exclusively for some certain machine learning libraries. So that are used. So not only machine learning libraries, natural language toolkit also available in this Python on R program. So R programming normally that is used for analyzing, right? So analyzing is this R programming is used, and Python that is used for implementing the machine learning, not only machine learning and artificial intelligence. I will say overall concept of that, right? How it can be implemented. So then we can choose a platform so that provide service instead of buying your own service. For example, in Python, if you take, so the Python is open source software are available in Python, and latest it is Python 10.10. So that there is a version of latest Python, right? So this can be downloaded with instead of buying some MATLAB or different other thing for your system, right? That also possible. So the machine learning and different other thing can be implemented with the help of this type of ready-made platform. Okay, with multiple algorithms and languages. So when we speak about the machine-oriented type of IIs, right? There are reactive machines, limited memory, and after that, self-aware and theory of mind. So these are the four types of AI. So reactive machines are like a robot; they will be reacting. So, and some machines which have only the limited memory, so they will be retaining some informations of previous data, like as the printer. You can take it as a small example. When we are giving a printing, like a printing, if we are giving, right? So, which printing, which has been given as the first will be printed, and after that, the remaining will be stored in a buffer so that sequentially the printing will be happening. So, like that, have limited memory machines, like theory of mind. So that is the third one where it could be. So import our mind in the software. So that is theory of mind, self-awareness. Like Sophia, like robot, will be having a self-awareness. So what is happening? So that will be thinking. So all the things will be coming under the self-aware. So these are the four type of AIs. So so in this there are different way of implementing AI, right? So you have a machine learning, deep learning. So we can see a glance of machine learning, right? What is machine learning? So machine learning, right? It is said to be a subfield of artificial intelligence. If you are saying AI, so uh, so inside that AI, we have a machine learning, deep learning, neural network, okay, voice recognition. So these are said to be the subfield of AI. So in that one field is known as machine learning, right? So this will what it will be doing means it will provide the system with the ability to uh, automatically learn and improve from the experience without being explicitly programmed. Okay, for example, so when it is moving, that when a robot is moving, so it should think that there is a wall, so it should analyze the distance. So that is for analyzing it can be programmed, but so this is the distance you should turn back, it is not programmed. So it should analyze that, so this is the wall and it should return back, or it should move in different direction. So that is the one of the field of machine learning. So that could be possible only with the help of this machine learning. So it is focusing on only development of computer programs that could be learned by itself, right? So there will be a Fibonacci series or a factorial program or different other programs. So there will be program inside the machine, and whenever it is necessary of using Fibonacci series or factorial program, so it will be using that program and it will be doing certain works. So that is the machine learning concept. So this will machine learning. If you are doing the machine learning, we'll be inputting the training data. So whatever the data that has been trained, so that will be input as in the selected algorithm. Okay. So what the data has been trained, that will not be there will be known or unknown data. Okay. So that will be sent to a machine learning algorithm. Okay. So here you could see that what is the difference between AI, ML, and DL, right? So AI is said to be the whole concept, right? Inside that, machine learning is the deep learning is the. So this AI is an umbrella, right? Discipline. We could say that umbrella discipline that covers everything related to making machines smarter, right? So whenever it comes under for making a machine to be smarter, then that will be coming under the artificial intelligence. So this machine learning, it is a subset of AI. Deep learning is applied to a large data set. So this is also one type of machine learning. There is a umbrella of deep learning is under the umbrella of machine learning. So in machine learning, there are different types: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. So if you see about the supervised learning, so if you take a function, right, y is equal to f of x. So this is a function we are taking. So this is the data. So here we could see that this y is equal to output, and f of x is said to be input, right? So here, here we have a control, or there is a supervisor to monitor or supervisor to control these functions. So f of x is a function, x is the data that has been inputted into the function, and y is equal to say as output. So this all the things has been controlled by a supervisor, or it is controlled by a functions that is said to be supervised learning. So you simply, if you are giving x comma y, so x and y are said to be a data. So there is no control at all. There is no control at all. So what is output, what is input, we don't know. X and Y are data. So that is said to be the unsupervised learning. Okay. So reinforcement learning is said to be when they are looking for a learning, right? So supervised and unsupervised has been separated, and apart from that is whatever the process is done, that is a reinforcement learning. So we can see in the further slides. So here, supervised learning, right? If you take a problem that involves using the model to learn and mapping between the input and output, right? So that is said to be the supervised learning. So input will be there, output will be there. So mapping between them is said to be the supervised learning. Okay. In supervised learning, so that, it is classified into two, that is regressions and classifications. So regression is nothing but so predicting right. So it is nothing but predicting by task, and classification is said to be the predicting a class label. So numerical label, if you are saying numerical label, that is said to be the regressions, and if it is like class with that is with the class label, then it is said to be classifications. So these are some of the algorithm. So that can be used here with regressions and classifications. Classification algorithm is like logistic regressions, k nearest neighbors, naive Bayes, support vector classification, random forest classification, decision tree classifications. These are the algorithms that is coming under the classifications. And after that, coming under the regressions. So simple linear, multiple linear, polynomial regressions, decision tree, random forest regressions, and support vector regressions. So these are some of the algorithm of regressions. So unsupervised learning, right? So which will be describing a class of problems that involves only using the models. Okay, model to describe, or some extracting relationship in data. As I have said before, so x and y, so that is data is there, right? But so there is no control over that x and y. So it will be describing only the model, right? Or what is the relationship it will be describing. So this is the data, x and y is there. So they are the data, so it will be describing, but it will not describing the control right over that. So when we compare to the supervised learning, so this only operates on input data. So other that is so input data is given. So x and y is input data if it is given. So we cannot say that output data. So input is given. So we may get a output. So that is output, right? So that we can say, we cannot say that. So this is the output we can get. So that is said to be unsupervised learning. So when we see about the unsupervised learning, clustering as well as dimensionality reductions are the two categories. So when we say clustering, that will be saying about the group of data, right? Grouping. If you have a clustering, so we'll be grouping that into a that we will grouping the clusters, right? So that is said to be the clustering. And dimensionality reactions, they have a lower dimensional representation of numerical input data, right? So that is said to be the dimensionality reductions. So when we see about the unsupervised learning algorithm, so there is a clustering. So according to that, so clustering. So we have k-means, mean shift clustering, EM clustering, spatial clustering, hierarchical clustering. So these are the clustering algorithms that are used. And after that, principal component analysis. After that, linear discriminant analysis and generalized discriminant analysis are coming under that dimensionality. So apart from that too, so we have a reinforcement learning. So which will be describe a class of problem and where an agent operates on an environment and must learn to operate using feedback, right? For example, so if you are going to a shop, right, and buying something, so that owner doesn't know about the product, whether it is good product or not. So it will not know. They doesn't know, and after that they ask the customer, right, about the product, so whether it is good or not. So when the customers say that the product is good and these are the facilities, these facilities are very good, it can be used like that, and it can be recommended to others. So if this is the feedback from that person, right, then the customer will observe that feedback, and again when any other people coming and inquiring about the product, so this feedback will be uh, sent as a input for selling their product. Okay, they will be saying same feedback to the people, right? So these are the facilities that are available, so you can buy that. So already a customer has purchased the product and he has given the good product, so you can 100% sure you can buy this product, like that they will be um, informing to the people. So that is said to be that that operates using the feedback. So that is said to be reinforcement learning. Okay. What are the application of machine learning? If you see about the supervised learning, diagnostics, spam detections, object recognition, fraud detections. So these are the place, or these are the application of supervised learning. Unsupervised learning is like recommender system, targeted marketing, customer segmentation, big data visualizations, or unsupervised learning applications. And skill acquisition and real-time decisions, robot navigations, and game AI. So said to be reinforcement learning. So we can see a glance on Python, right? So what are the things about Python and how they can be implemented? So this is a glance. So if you see about the Python, right, there are n number of topics. Okay, so it will not sufficient for us to complete that with the hours given. So why Python for AI that is used? So here we have a so certain some technologies, right? So there are some of the programming like Lisp and Prolog, C++, and Java. So these are the programming language that are used, right? Apart from that, Python. So the Python is very simple syntax and list codings, right? That can be used. Okay. and some of the inbuilt libraries are there, like NumSpy and Spy. So these are some of the um, inbuilt libraries. And same as that, this is open source, and it can be used in a broad range of programming also. Okay. So, that is easy to learn features, easy to read, easy to maintain. They have a broad standard libraries. They have an interactive mode. It is portable, extendable. So these are some of the features, right, of Python. So you can download the software from Python website, and you can um, install, right? So according to your system, if it is 32-bit system or 64-bit system, there are separate software is available in the website, and that can be downloaded from that and installed on your system according to your system configuration. So there is an interactive interpreter in the Pythons, right? Okay, so where you can do some programs in there, right? Like what you're doing with the editor, right? So same as that, it has a interactive editor is there where you can type the program, and so that it will be a interactive interpreter while you are running that programs. So these are the different subfields where the Python supports, like data preparations, classification in supervised learning, regressions, unsupervised learning, like clustering, learning, and logic programming, NLP, and NLT, Natural Toolkit, right? So that also a natural language toolkit package also available, time series data, and after that speech recognition, heuristic search, gaming, neural network, genetic algorithms, computer visions, deep learning. So these are the various subfield which could be implemented with the Python, right? So that could be seen in details in the further sessions if I got right. So that's all about this artificial intelligence. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So artificial intelligence, it is said to be one of the important aspect in the software industry, right? So you can learn and you can implement this artificial intelligence. If you are very much thorough enough to implement that artificial intelligence, you'll be taken to foreign countries for different projects. Okay, so with
Excuse me, sir, they have posted the question in the chat box. Can you please reply for that question?
various research area in AI, right? You can implement the area in different. For example, I am doing a research in AI, right? So I am doing my PhD, and my topic is about irrigation, right? So where I have taken a subfield as a neural network. So using neural network, there are different algorithms in neural network. So we could see that BAT algorithm and different algorithms are there in AI. So you can take that algorithm, and what you can do means, so they will have some pitfalls. Surely the algorithm will have some disadvantages or pitfalls where you cannot get 100% accuracy. So at the time, what you can do is you can improvise that algorithm with your own thinking, right? And that algorithm can be implemented and show that, so we could get a better result when we compare to the previous algorithm. We can show. So that is that you can start with the initial stage, and you can go ahead further. So like that, you can take various field in AI, like machine learning. You can take voice recognition. You can take So there are certain algorithm I have shown in the slides. So you can take a particular algorithm and you can improvise that, right? So like that you can implement your research. Are you satisfied with the answer?
Thank you, sir. I'm satisfied your answer. Actually, I'm just thinking about starting the PhD. That's why I'm asking about this question. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, okay. So you can take a core areas like a deep learning. What I have said before, you can take any one of the core area. Deep learning, you can take knowledge representation, robotics, like vision, speech, NLP. So anything you can take for your research, right? So if you are taking that, so in that you want to analyze the previous algorithm, and you can improvise with your new idea in that algorithm, and you can show. So that is the only thing where you can concentrate on the research area. Okay. Do you have any questions other than this?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I thank Srini for inviting me for as a guest, right? So he's my student in Nehru Arts and Science College, and thanks Srini and Anil sir for inviting me as a guest, right? So if you have anything to ask, you can contact me through Srini, and thank you all.
After the vote of thanks, there will be a link posted in the group in chat box. So you can enroll your feedback in that chat box. A certificate will be issued from the side of the college. So now I request Mr. Suraj C, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, to address the gathering.
I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution to make this webinar a great success. On behalf of the organizing faculty and Department of Computer Science, I extend my gratitude to our resource person of the day, Mr. I. Gobi, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Sri Krishna Aditya College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, for sharing your deep findings and knowledge about artificial intelligence. Thank you, sir. So I know the time. I don't wish to prolong so much. So once again, thanks to all who has taken a great initiative for this webinar, especially our principal, Dr. Anil sir, the coordinator of the Dhishana, Dr. Jitin, IQAC coordinator, Dr. Fabida Ibrahim, and the participants. Once again, thank you all. Thank you.